Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a singles storyline. So in our singles storylines, we're not talking about exes coming back. Lots of times we don't talk about love at all. Kind of depends, but let's just see. What's our message for our singles for starters? We've got lady, goddess, feminine. You know what is so wild is that I just put out the bonus general message. And by the way, don't skip watching that one if you want to enter to win a prize, because I'm giving away a tarot deck on that video. But anyway, it was all about a divine masculine. And now, even though this is a single story, we're starting out with the feminine. So sorry, this is intended to be single, but we are starting with the divine feminine, the goddess energy. All right. So what does that mean? What is that representing here? If we are actually, let's stick with that deck. Let's go one more off of this deck. But let's use it like I would a Lenormand deck, where I'm looking for it to be a follow-up to that first card. We have Autumn, Watchtower of the West. Okay, so something important is happening. A divine feminine is being awakened right now in this very time frame. What is that representing? Let's do one more here, and again, use it like a Lenormand, where these cards interact with each other in a slightly different manner. So let's see. Okay, we've got two more, and we have cleansing, and we have magic. This is actually really nice. So the water is the cleansing, and then the candles are the magic. So, I mean, the only way that I can look at this right now is that we are dealing with the divine feminine, and that could be masculine or feminine, because we all have that energy within us, right? So it doesn't matter if we're talking about a man or a woman or how anybody identifies, but rather the inner energy, the internal energy of a divine feminine, which is the receptive energy, the nurturing energy within us. Right now, in this time period, that energy is being washed clean and is basically reawakening in this really positive vibe. It's going from washing away to flicking on the fire, but feeling like, let me put it this way. I think any feminine energy within an individual that was wounded, a mother wound, for example, someone who felt unloved, by a strong feminine energy in their life, they are washing themselves clean of that wound, masculine or feminine. Someone who felt like, they had ever been mistreated or violated in some way or wounded in some way, that is what's being washed clean. And what is being replaced with is this sense of empowerment, this sense of delight, this sense of like, I love being a feminine. I love my feminine energy within me. I don't look at it as something that was once damaged. I look at it as, again, something super powerful, something that I don't have to carry those wounds around with me anymore. This could be somebody who starts to like really love their body more. This is somebody who starts to really feel, and when I talk about the divine feminine like this, one of the aspects that I think is important, if we're going to use a word like divine or goddess, is benevolence. This is not where it's like, okay, so I'm awesome, and now I've got like a chip on my shoulder because I'm better than the masculine, or I'm better than this person, or I'm going to fight for my position. That's the whole point. There's no fighting here. There is this knowledge that, wow, I really appreciate the other energies in this universe that balance my power out. This is not a power struggle. This is the balance of power, the balance within the part of us that says, wait, I don't feel less than. I actually am equal to everyone that is also equal to me. This is a really beautiful, and this becomes fun, and it becomes sexy, and it becomes like fearless, but doesn't have a chip on its shoulder. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that's an important message to put out there, because a true goddess is not going to be walking around feeling like they have to prove themselves. That's the whole point. Goddess energy doesn't have to prove anything. Is already goddess. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. There isn't any doubt. Certainly other people won't respect a goddess, but the goddess is like, that's on you, boo. Like, you don't respect a goddess. Oh, sucks to be you. Like, it doesn't impact the goddess at all. The goddess is not going to get like bent out of shape over it. They're not going to feel like, respect the goddess. There's none of that. There's no power struggle. This is pretty awesome energy, whether it's masculine or feminine. This could also, let's put it in a different context. Say this is the way an individual now looks at the divine feminine. Say it is a masculine who's able to like look at that part of themselves, or look at, a woman or someone that they view as that divine feminine, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not walking around with any wounds from other women who've hurt me. I'm not dealing with any of that. I'm actually realizing when you're in the presence of like this kind of energy, that goddess energy, like, I love this. I want to exalt this. I want to raise it up. Basically, what I would say is, to simplify this, when people get to the point where they want to treat each other like empresses and emperors, that's a really good place to be. That's where we lift each other up and go, oh my God, I love those things that you do. I love that skill that you have. I have different skills than you. I'm equal to you, but I adore, like, that is my person. Look at my person. They rock. They are so talented. They're so awesome at this and at that. So when we see the divine within each other, that I think we really are in our most powerful as well. Because instead of it being a challenge, like, oh, well, you're really good at that, now I feel jealous. Oh, you're really attractive, I don't want other people to see you and, want you because I want to hoard you for myself. There's none of that. This is just like, look at that goddess, that's my goddess, or vice versa, like, I'm a goddess. Like, oh my God, it feels so good to not doubt any of that in myself. That's the vibe that we're shifting into. It's very supportive. And this could also be in amongst like groups of other goddesses. Like, this would be a great example of, like, say it is a group of women all really supporting each other. There's not the cattiness. There's not the, like, well, I want to be better than you. It's like, no, this could be a really wonderful group of individuals. I don't want to keep saying women because it doesn't have to be. We have the Tower. So we've got a major change. I love the Tower. To me, a tower is a sense of freedom. It's a change in the way we see something, the way we think about something. We've got a Hierophant in the reverse, and we got a Nine of Cups. So somebody's breaking free of chains for sure. Somebody views all kinds of beliefs differently. Someone views relationships differently. Someone doesn't have this. I think somebody had placed themselves at one point in time into this little strict belief system where it was like, okay, if the whole ranking system, I just hate stuff like that, where it's like, people are like, oh, well, are you a 7? How do you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? Are you, like, looks wise or something? Like, are you a 4? Are you a 7? Are you a 10? Are you a, and it's almost like somebody goes, rank myself? What do you mean? I'm goddess status. Like, I don't do numbers. There's not a number for me. I feel like somebody's broken out of that. Like, they might have previously had like a check mark of like, okay, well, I have to be this, or I can't consider myself this attractive. I have to do that, or I can't consider myself this worthy. I have to first do this, or I won't be able to fit into that group. Someone goes, are you kidding? Fit into a group? I just simply exist. Like, I just exude life. I'm not interested in trying to put together a checklist of things that I have to evaluate myself on and find out where I'm coming up short. I don't operate that way anymore. I operate in this, I mean, come on, she's like seriously levitating. Again, goddess energy goes above and beyond that. Goddess energy isn't tearing herself down, tearing himself down. Goddess energy doesn't walk around and say, oh, I'm probably not worthy of this. I'm probably not good enough. Instead, they would turn that around and say, you know what? I think I want to, study and learn this because I would love to advance my skills in that area. But they never say, I'm not good enough to do that. I don't know that. I'm not smart. They would never tear themselves down. That's not how they operate. And that's what I mean when I say goddess status. That's what I mean when I say they're not stuck in a mindset anymore of where am I lacking? Even though technically, if you're deciding what you still want to learn, what you still want to achieve, you would say, well, I haven't achieved this yet, but they don't see it as a lack and a, lack of self-worth. And I think that is a profound mental breakthrough for this person, this energy breakthrough, this fabulous, like, this person is not going to be challenged by anybody else. When they see somebody rocking it, somebody smarter than them, someone doing better than them, they're going to walk right up, high five that person, and be like, hell yeah, you are so inspirational. And they're so comfortable with themselves. They're so happy to see other people shining brightly, doing well, being inspired by others. That's the kind of energy that we have with the goddess energy there. That's my interpretation. Okay. Please feel free to, put in your opinions in the comment section. What does that mean in your personal interpretation? Because these are all fictional stories, right? Open to all of our interpretation, but that's the way I see this. And something here about, because the Hierophant can also be a card of like marriage, and like regulations and, institutions. This person might have even thought, well, I'm nobody's empress if I've never been married. I'm nobody's empress if they divorced me. I'm nobody's empress. And it's like, are you kidding me? That's not what makes me an empress. That's not what makes me a goddess. That's not what makes me divine. I already am all that. In fact, maybe I never needed to, I want to say, let's just put it this way. I'm good. No matter what happens, if I'm single, if I'm, batting off suitors with a fly swatter, if I'm totally isolated, if I'm out there, in a loving relationship or not, it doesn't change the status of I'm actually still happy within myself and who I am. I think that's the other major breakthrough here. It's not about, do I need to have a person who validates me? Do I need any of that? We do have a good Six of Swords because these birds are pulling her through the sky instead of through the sea. Again, talking about going above. The goddess status is beyond ranking herself in looks from 1 to 10 or himself from 1 to 10. The goddess status goes beyond thinking about like, well, if I got divorced or if somebody breaks up with me or somebody dumps me, that I'm not good enough. None of that factors into goddess status. You're so far above that. It's like, excuse me, that ain't even my issue. That may be somebody else's ranking system, but you can't rank a goddess. Because I win. It's like bacon. Bacon beats everything, right? If you play, as somebody said to me once, in rock, paper, scissors, they would always do bacon because bacon beats everything. Somebody said that to me in a grocery store once, and I was like, that is fabulous. Queen of Pentacles. So we've gone from this like super ethereal, like profound goddess vibe, and now we're bringing it home and we're putting our feet on solid ground and saying, now, what do I do with all that energy? I totally make a success of my life. I create a foundation for myself, but also I am a foundation for others. People that know me, my name is synonymous with balance, with success. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect, certainly not, but it does mean that I am someone that other people would say, oh yeah, this person is fair, this person is balanced, this person is not hung up in a lot of things that are petty or shallow. They're not in competition with anyone on this planet. They simply exist in a way that makes it look really easy and really graceful, even though she usually works really hard. This is also somebody who has good boundaries. They're not going to say yes when they secretly mean no. They're not going to do things that are not actually going to add value to their life. They're not going to overgive and hemorrhage their energy flow. You notice, look at how gorgeous she is. Look at how, and she's got her own flair, right? She's out here and she's got like blue eyeshadow on and this gorgeous green headdress and like this brilliant like tangerine necklace. And it just, everything about her, she's got this certain, there's an earthy quality, but it also has these pops of color. This is somebody who stands out. Right now, it feels like this is a pretty heavily leaning toward like feminine energy in the whole storyline. But as I said, masculines have that divine feminine energy inside of them as well. But this, right now, it looks like we're talking primarily about only the feminine energy in this story. And we've got a Knight of Cups in the reverse. I'm telling you, This has nothing to do with her thinking about relationships. This is truly a single individual that is, the only thing that they're focusing on right now is realizing their own personal worth. And it has nothing to do with, okay, now that I know that I'm worthy, now will that great love come in? That's not even on their radar right now. That doesn't mean that there isn't something coming in for them, but this is much more of a Page of Pentacles in the reverse. They really aren't entertaining anything. This person is taking I'm going to say a moment of, like, sometimes when we have that day or that moment in our lives where we go, you know what? Actually, I can't even believe how stressed out I had been for the last couple of years, and I finally don't feel that way. Maybe I'm just sitting, whatever, outside in my garden on a rainy day. Actually, I had a day like this. It just, a few moments where I was like, it was just so awesome. It wasn't a perfect day. It wasn't like the sunny, look, there's a rainbow. It wasn't anything special. It was just a gray kind of blank looking day. But there was just, my dog's out there, loving, smelling the air. And it was just this moment of perfect contentedness. And I think, we can all have those moments in life where we go, gosh, I really am so grateful to be just right here, right now. It's nothing huge or special going on. It just is this really nice moment. And I feel like that's what this is. It's not interwoven to relationships. It's not some huge life altering event. It's really just saying, I'm really grateful for my life. There's something really special about this, even though there's nothing particularly special about this. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. I don't know how else to say that. That's the example I'm going to use, just because sometimes I think it's cool to look at animals when they are enjoying something so simple. It like, that's when it was illuminated to me. I'm like, my dog absolutely loves this cool weather. He loves fall, and he loves just standing there going, and you could just see he was like, oh, to be alive in this moment, to smell the wind. And I was like, he's so right. It's that kind of sense of awareness. Now, this goddess, this contented individual, whoever this is, they are not looking out at, okay, what's the next big journey? What's the next big revelation? What's the next, love? What else am I going to get? This person is like, they don't think about what is the universe going to bring me. They simply are living their life very much in the present. So, of course, I have to ask this, because I think with this vibe, with this contentedness, I mean, that is already reward itself, right? Who needs more when you already are feeling like, I like my life? Like, that's probably what this title of this video will have to be, is I love my life, because that's what this whole message has been about. But sometimes when we're in that moment, that's when really awesome stuff, we send out that vibe, so that vibe impacts stuff around us. So we have the Fool, we have a sense of freedom, we've got the King of Swords in the reverse, we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse, we have a Page of Wands in the reverse, and we have a Four of Cups in the reverse. If there has ever been a ripple of energy vibe, I feel like in that moment where somebody feels really good about their life, there is this, it's almost like she's got this this beautiful little serene, like, pool beside her, but like all the stars are kind of twinkling in this pool. So it's almost like her wishes, her dreams, everything, whatever's going to happen next, she's just kind of open to it. And she releases, what I can only say is, she releases a situation without any bitterness. Maybe that's just it. She releases all bitterness about a situation that maybe had been, with a King of Swords, maybe it was a ghosting situation. It was silence. It was hurt. It was lack of understanding. This could have been not even in a relationship that was about romance, but maybe something about just maybe all toxic interactions, possibly with the perception of masculine energy and conflict that can arise between masculine and feminine divine energies. This could also talk about a specific interaction. This could have talked about like a business interaction that kind of like had an ugly end to it. Something that, or maybe a situation that never could get off the ground, or it could talk about a relationship, possibly with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, that ended badly or didn't get off the ground. I would say ended really badly. There's a complete and utter surrender of it. There's no more regret. There's not even a thought of, could it have gone different? Should it have gone different? This is just a total release. So if that's what this state of contentedness, and now we enter her match, her King of Pentacles. What she essentially did, and to me, this is a very visual thing. So it's like, I see this in my mind's eye. If I close my eyes, what I see is her having this moment where she stands there and she goes, you know what? I am just where I'm supposed to be. And she goes ahead and she just closes a door, because she's like, this room that I'm in is just wonderful. And so she closes a door because she's like, I'm not even walking out that door. I'm not even peering through that doorway anymore. I am right in this space that is a fantastic space to be. And she's essentially closing this door on whatever this King of Swords situation was. She's releasing it and saying, maybe that doorway had all kinds of blockages that I was always trying to figure out. Should I try to get over the tables and chairs and bureaus and everything that was stacked up? No, in fact, I'm just going to close that. I don't even need to look through that door. And it's funny because as she closes that door, maybe she didn't realize that that door, maybe it was a situation where having that doorway that had been propped open that she couldn't exit through, when she finally shuts it, she notices, oh wow, I didn't know that there was a window behind that door. And that's the big shift for her. If she hadn't allowed this to end, she never would have had this unexpected thing that had been there all along, possibly. Like her real match, her real mate, a person who is, wolves do mate for life. And you notice that this person has this wolf very connected to them. This is a perfect match for her. This is the King and the Queen of Pentacles now. She couldn't have made space for this person unless she got into a very comfortable zone in and of herself, where she was able to firmly and calmly release something. It wasn't a drag. It wasn't stressful. It was like, I'm just done with, I'm not gnashing my teeth and fighting for things that I think I'm supposed to still be engaged in. I'm not feeling like it was missed opportunities. I think I'm probably just where I'm supposed to be. And that sense of peace allows her to close one chapter, to close one door. And to her surprise, there's something else that is there, like almost immediately. Maybe it is a romance. Maybe it's a soulmate. Maybe it's just a great partnership. Maybe it's an awesome business interaction. Maybe her whole life gets easier and smoother. Maybe all of a sudden her work is easier because in her mind, she's not fighting, thinking, am I worthy? Do I deserve that raise? It's like, you know what? Even if I didn't get a raise, I actually am having all my needs met. I love what I do. I respect myself for my work. And it's like, that could be the thought process that all of a sudden the next day she gets that huge raise. She's made partner. She's turned into like somebody like really says, oh, wow, you're the perfect balance. There's something about relaxing, not feeling like everything is a fight. Everything's got to be a battle. Just saying, I'm in a place where I like my life. I love my life, in fact. And that sense of peace, somehow it alleviates all the struggle, all the battle, all the question mark, all the continual. It's almost like if she didn't realize before that she had maybe ever produced any blockages in her own world by overthinking things, evaluating herself too frequently, looking always at her shortcomings. The fact that she releases all that, it just kind of lets energy, like it's, sorry, I just bumped I don't know if that's going to sound fuzzy now or not, but we're going to wrap this up anyway. She's just in a whole different flow now, and it just clicks. It just works for her. I don't know what else to say about that other than it's amazing when we feel content and we stop fighting, that's when all these major easy changes come into play for our lead character. So very nice, very relaxed, very peaceful, and very like gracious storyline is what I would say with this. All right, you guys, as always, I am just a storyteller, not a psychic, not a life coach. I don't give wisdom. I don't do anything other than tell a fictional story. If you do enjoy my storytelling, awesome. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. At the end of the day, of course, it's always up to you as to what becomes your reality. I hope everybody chooses whatever is in their greatest and highest good. And thank you. I hope you do enjoy my free storytelling. All right, bye.